And I see you're getting a little pink in the cheeks, Mo. It is the way you are as a human being. It's a gift. It's a true gift. And it helps people to really feel like they, like you said to me, like you belong at the table. You are valued and respected and appreciated.
Hey, this is Coach Mo Faul. I am an ex-CEO, ex-COO, and about to lay out the soul-powered revolution. And you'll win in life by having your soul on fire. Hey everyone, it's Coach Mo Faul, soul-powered career coach here with one of my soul-powered coachees, I guess we are calling Patti P. So great to have you here. If you're new to my work, folks, I help professional women up-level their careers by doing soul work first and helping them feel awesome on the inside. That way, the career advancement gets a lot easier. Patti, I remember the day, diving right in. I don't know if you want to kind of scope out for those who are listening, what was going on for you? You can keep the guilty parties unnamed. What was going on for you in your career that caused you initially to reach out? Maybe before we do that, just you want to tell them a little bit about what your career path is, and then we'll dive in that.
I'm a nurse, and I started out as an oncology nurse, and then I was bedside in. So I worked in hospice, and I was bedside primary care in hospice, and then I ran a hospice company for 12 years, and now I'm out here in California, and I found your podcasts and was listening to you for, gosh, I think lurking would be the right word, for a couple years before I actually decided to take the plunge and give you a call. And so, like, for the clarity call, and I talked to somebody, but I was already all in. Like, I was going into the clarity call thinking I'm, like, okay, just here's my money, here's my credit card, let's sign up.
Let's get rolling. You're like, I'm on shaky ground. There was something going on with your company. I mean, sometimes it's the external events that show us where we're really at. Sometimes it's an internal pot that boils over. What was going on specifically for you that you were like, oh crap, if I don't get help, this ain't gonna go well?
Yes. I didn't want to carry bad habits into a merger acquisition situation. And I was like, wow, I've been through this again and again, mergers, acquisitions, and we were going through a merger acquisition, and I thought, I don't want to see this transition and not be positioned adequately. Like, I need some help. Like, I don't, patterns are repeating themselves. What do I do?
Yeah. And that's what inevitably does show up. And I think I remember, correct me if this isn't correct, that the merger actually was potentially a big advantage for you career-wise, because it meant a bigger opportunity for you potentially if you played your cards right.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, it had the potential of being like it could go either way. It could be a catastrophe or really great. Yeah.
What was one of the first things, other than repeating patterns, what was one of the first things that you had a big aha moment on? You don't need to go into super personal details, but I'm sure that there was something that you were like, oh boy, this is definitely the thing for me that I need to.
Yeah, the first thing. There were so many things. I do remember, like feeling triggered in a coaching call and having that being kind of pointed out, like, you are triggered. I'm like, yeah, okay, now what?
So basically having a high alert anxiety or a high alert thing going, wait a minute, this is happening at work as well. And it's causing, was it causing you to have sort of like a fight, flight, flee response that was not in your best interest?
Yeah. Or freeze or get angry or sort of blame myself. It just really have some type of high anxiety that then manifested itself in a way like squishing two sides of something and having something come out sideways that I didn't expect or didn't want.
Yeah. How long do you think that was going on that you were sort of like wondering, is this normal? Should I keep putting up with this? Is it something I can fix? Like, how long do you think that that was
Probably
going
my
on for you?
whole career. Like my whole
Uh,
career, I would get into a situation where is because I didn't really have mentors, or I really
mhm,
didn't have. I mean, I always had mentors or preceptors, but you know, I didn't really have people saying to me like, "Oh, this is normal," or a lot of people go through this,
mm,
and this is another way to look at it, or or reframe things, or
yeah,
this is another way we can look at it, or or just soften the edges,
right.
or just relax into it, or lean
Mhm,
in, like
yeah,
that there's other ways to deal with it, instead, just like you said, fight, flight, freeze, or flee, or or
mm,
freeze, or just like
yeah,
get into a little ball and freak out.
right. Yeah,
I don't have to
yeah,
do any of those things.
right, right. And as you began to understand that that was the problem, that you were, let's just call it, easily triggered into that stress response, what were some of the things that you learned through the coaching that helped you move in a more productive, more positive direction?
Well, take a deep breath. Look, how about look up and out, and who are the helpers, who's on either side of you, who's around you, who are your resources, and did you ask, were you
Mhm,
curious? It really helps to look at the day and think, well, slow down to speed up. Did you really slow down and take a look at that from all angles, or did you just
mm,
dive in and try and fix it?
mhm,
Because
mhm.
I'll just try and fix it.
Right,
But
as a good nurse will tend to do, and perhaps sometimes it's not yours to fix.
exactly.
Perhaps sometimes someone else should be accountable for fixing it, or you should be delegating it. As you learned some of the baseline ways to keep your nervous system from being overreactive, was it did that also help then for you to identify the things that were yours, the things that were other people's, and basically clear off the things that you took on?
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is too, is to, because another thing would be to not recognize that we're all human, right? And so how to hold people accountable, like without getting angry, and without then, or just letting people slide by. Like there's a
Yeah.
middle place to be in all of
Mhm.
it. And
Mhm.
then just kind of realign, regroup, and
Mhm.
then get buy-in. Like just be softer about the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
not just like, oh, I got to do it all myself, or give it all, or
Mhm.
give up.
Right. Right.
There's just different ways to be.
Yeah. And part of the work that we do, as you know, is to help you understand and feel more aligned with your power, with the accomplishments that you have, which allows you to feel that you have every right to be at the table or to have a place in a powerful role rather than overdoing it to prove that you should be there. Was there like a point or a day where you all of a sudden felt more relaxed about being in a responsible role?
Yeah, I think there definitely is, and sometimes I have to return to that. Like it's
Sure.
yeah, oh yes, it's you're
Mhm.
peeling back the layers of the onion always for me.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but it's always there for me too, and I can revisit it as often as
Yeah.
I need to, uh,
Yeah.
and feel okay with that. Like
Mhm.
that's okay.
Mhm. Yeah. I know you've had a few different roles over the years that we've worked. The first role, I think we were helping you basically like stay engaged and stay powerful. And then I believe you got a promotion.
I did.
Uh, and you want to just talk through how that was different for you, knowing what you know through the coaching, or knowing what you knew through the coaching, how that was easier for you to progress yourself and show up and do that higher level work.
That was interesting. Well, the first promotion was really easy. It was just a natural progression. I just fit in there, and then it felt really great. And then that promotion resulted in a riff, like a reduction in force, which also then turned out to be just what I needed. Because then, as you know, things happened in my personal life, which really called me into action. I was able to do some things with my mom that really needed to be done. Like
Mhm.
everything
Yeah.
since then has been, everything always works out for me, and it was just what I needed. And I know that in, you know, as you're going through it, it doesn't really feel like that. You're like, why me? Why now? But you look back and you think, well, this is what I needed. This is why I'm here. This
Mhm.
is, and it's felt really natural. My husband's been with me all the way through it. He's been an excellent, wonderful partner all the way through the whole thing, and we're
Yeah.
just in a really great place in our life. Um, so everything has felt natural, like the up leveling and then the
Mhm.
riff, which
Mhm.
it's not like it didn't hurt. It's not like it wasn't hard,
Right.
but I
Yeah.
was in a different space and I was able to handle it. And
Uh,
then I found a job that met what I need. It was exactly what I needed in the time I needed it.
Mhm.
Then I got promoted again really fast, and now I'm
Yep.
in that role and taking on more and more responsibility, which again is exactly what the company needs from me right now. And I don't feel like
Mhm.
I'm giving a lot, but it's not
Mhm.
more than I need to be giving right now. Like it's
Mhm.
where the mission and the vision is drawing me to, and I'm doing what I need to be doing for the company right now. And
Mhm.
it's very much in alignment with who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. We can never really look back and say, this could have happened if I didn't do that. But just from your own reflection, what do you think was more possible for you because of the coaching that you got and the way that you now understand who you are, how to handle your power, and how not to how to handle things without reacting? Like what do you think that has led you to be able to accomplish differently?
I just think kind of the give and take in my life is easier. I just
Hmm.
really think that the space I'm in my life, it's more of it's just a fuller life. It's just, it just
Ah.
feels
Mhm.
it it the, like I'm expanding into places where I'm not really comfortable, but I'm comfortable not being comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one.
It is a
Because
big one,
isn't that really what growth is? It's all about having the ability to not not know that not feeling comfortable is growth. And if your nervous system is in reactive mode, you're not going to be able to be uncomfortable because you're going to want to fight or flight from it. And
right?
being able to hang in there in an expansion, I guess that really is the thing, isn't it?
It really is interesting. It's, because in the past, and part of it is too, I'm not as young as I was, and so in the past I might handle it by, riding my motorcycle really fast, or, doing something like that, which to me seems a little dangerous now.
Yeah, yeah.
And now, and I really like this feeling of growth and being able to do these things that are causing an expansion in another way. So I
Mhm.
like that. I don't have to go skydiving to feel the thrill of life.
Skydiving, that's interesting. Huh. I bet sometimes life felt like you were jumping out without a parachute
Yeah.
previously. Like just, "Oh, I hope I don't crash and break all my bones." What do you think other people would say about how you are navigating life now compared to previously before you dove into the coaching?
People have always known me to be a little adventurous and jump into things. And so one of the things that my mom always said is, I have too much on my plate. And I was like, well, but mom, I just need a bigger plate. So I think that other people would see me and would say that they see me taking a rest more. I
Mm,
take more time for myself. And
mhm.
one thing my cousin did say to me was, we seem to not be afraid to say no to more things.
Ah,
We
yeah,
used to just say yes to everything, whatever,
yeah,
just yes, 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 yes. But now we're kind of
yeah,
like, not for me, not doing that, not for
yeah,
me.
yeah. I guess when you are in your soul's power and your soul's truth, perhaps the things that we choose to do when we're not feeling powerful are things to help us feel like we're powerful or that we can handle it, or either proving to ourselves or maybe proving to others. I've noticed not just in working with you, but I think most of the women who we have worked with, that's a typical problem, is putting too much on one's plate. And then when you feel enough, you don't have to have as much on your plate.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't have to have 25 people calling me all the time and saying, you know, just or 20 committees to be involved in. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
can pick, and choose the things that really feel important to me and,
Mm-hmm.
that I really want to dive into and make a difference in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You're a
me
little
is
bit
one
more.
of them.
Number one. You are number one.
Number-
What are you, I guess, sort of if we were to think about what's possible for you on a go forward versus maybe what you would have not thought about? Well, I know that the role you're in right now is something that you really wanted to get into,
Yes. Yes.
be in the C-suite and be in a highly responsible and impactful role. And I know because we know some of the details, but your capacity to handle that and to handle some of the stress is just a beautiful thing. I mean, who you are now is just, you have this capacity to handle stuff. And not that life hasn't gotten stressful. This year probably was one of your more stressful years.
Yep. For sure.
Hmm.
For
Yeah.
sure.
What are some of the things that you're able to lean into, given what you now know and the toolkit that you have that's helped you maintain your C-suite role and success?
Oh, some of the things that I lean into, well, I definitely lean into my 10-10-10, and I lean into downtime in my spa. I love that.
Huh?
But other
Uh-huh.
things that I do, activities for me, I've gotten back into my dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're asking me? Like those
Yeah,
types
just
of
like
things?
how you balance your life. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've recently am looking at blending what I love to do in hospice and quality of life with helping people who have Parkinson's and dementia with their dancing. So it's something called RX Ballroom. So I'm wondering how I can
Oh,
help to impact people with those neurodegenerative diseases. So I
interesting.
recently started to be on the board and looking at that.
Nice.
It's called RX Ballroom. It's a really cool thing, and it's a
Yeah,
unique blend of the two worlds there.
right. What a perfect blend for you.
I know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Patty's being a little modest. She's I mean, do you call it competitive ballroom dancer? Is
Yes,
that the right word?
that
Yeah,
is absolutely the right way
competitive
to say it.
ballroom dancer. Really light on your feet and very elegant moving along the dance floor. We've seen clips.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, it's really great. Looking back on when we first met, or right before, when you said when you booked the call, no one books the call without a little nervousness, and certainly no one invests in the coaching without feeling like, oh crap, this better work. What would you say to someone who is in the same spot you were in then about mustering up the courage, or what they have on the other side of that yes? What advice would you give someone?
I would say don't wait. Like just really don't wait. I waited too long. Like two years lurking is too is too
Yeah.
long. Like take the
Uh-huh.
plunge if you're
Yeah.
even considering it. Like take the
Hmm.
plunge. Don't wait.
Yeah.
It's well worth.
Yeah, I mean, and as you know, having been the witness of many, many women's coaching as well as your own, given how we do our coaching, I'm sure that you've seen that in a lot of your coaching colleagues in the different groups. Why do you think we wait to do things?
Mm, that's a good question. I know for me, it's either I'm waiting for the right time, and for me, it's like the right time. It's either the right money or the
Uh-huh.
right answer or the correct place and time, which there never is.
Right.
It's just
Exactly.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
people. It's like having it's never the right time to have the kid. It's never the right time to have the money. The Something's
Yeah.
always going to come up. There's always going to be something else to spend the money on.
Right.
And
Right.
and I should know. I mean, I work in hospice. Like you don't get the time back. Like that is something that I know so much about. You got to
Yeah.
live your dash. Like
Yeah.
it's something I know so much about. But we as humans
Yeah.
get tricked. That's the way our brain works.
Yeah. Yeah. Waiting for all of our ducks to line up.
That's right.
Yeah. And sometimes there's a duck that's just not in the right place. And you're like, I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to wait for that.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that would never decrease one's anxiety about diving in. I mean,
Isn't that
you know,
strange?
it is. It's really an interesting human
Mhm,
phenomena. We get in our own way by thinking that things have to be perfectly lined up for us to take action on something.
mhm.
And really what we realize is that life's most imperfect moments are our best moments.
Aren't they? It's like the wedding that's like the wedding that like it never goes perfectly as planned, but then the moments that make it the best are the ones that like, something was like a little off or a little funny or a
Yeah.
little goofy happened and something had to
Yeah.
happen to make it all work
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Life. You've been on this journey with us for a couple of years and you've witnessed other women. What would you say one of the main themes is that we do that you've seen has helped a lot of women along the pathway? What are some of the, I don't know, methods or techniques you think?
The non-judgmental listening, the group coaching, mainly just the everybody is listened to with the same amount of respect and dignity. I mean, that is one thing that I am big on is human dignity and
Mm,
humanity is
yeah.
it's just beautiful and witnessing other people's and I see you're getting a little pink in the cheeks, Mo. It is the way you are as a human being.
Yeah.
You're just so wonderful, and
Yeah.
it's the customer service and how you treat people. It's a gift. It's a true gift, and it
Yeah.
helps people to really feel like they, like you said to me, like you belong at the table. You are valued and respected and appreciated,
Right.
and
Yeah.
people, it really helps them to come out of their shell or whatever it is that they're
Yeah.
having a thing with
Yeah.
to really fully develop into who they are, let their
Yeah.
soul just come out and shine.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it? Because you've been the witness of your peers, your sisters, if as we call it, coming out and shining as well. And it's just it's a contagious, wonderful experience to watch another human being blossom into their fullness.
Hmm. And I love to hear their stories and what they provide in their sharing. And I know what I've shared in my stories and in our group coaching, one on one too, so much. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the the beauty of hearing everybody's story is I learn so much, and I just want to
Yeah.
hear it and listen to it. And then when they share, I just get so much out of it for myself, which helps me. But
Yeah.
I just can't wait to hear them share and fully blossom so that I can just witness it. It's just beautiful.
It is. It is. And our humanness is accelerated, I think, when we see someone else coming through something or see someone else celebrated and celebrating. It just informs a much more rich experience of being a human on the planet. And I cherish every time I am with you and see you because I do have memories of the nervousness and the anxiety and the lesser sense of self that we started this journey with, and how you now know yourself and how you now are able to be compassionate and powerful. I think possibly for a lot of women we don't think we can be both. And the powerful sort of male masculine energy and the compassionate and generous female energy, when they're combined together in a whole person, we have a whole person.
Thank goodness.
And yeah.
It's a
And
beautiful
you
thing.
are a testament to that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I know that we share this year the death of our mothers.
Yeah.
When we started this journey, we shared both being nurses. And it's really just a delight to talk with you again, to have you share your journey and just spend some time with you, because it's just life is but a dream, and we don't want to postpone it.
We
We don't
don't.
want to postpone it. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't. Thank you for all
Any
that
other
you do.
Sure, you got it. Any other advice you'd give to a Patty sitting on the sidelines right now?
Oh my gosh. I think I said it before. Just don't wait. Don't wait for yourself. Don't give it a second thought. Just
Yeah.
don't wait. You're worth it. You are
Yeah.
worth it. Like
Yeah. Yeah. That is the truth. As a professional woman, every woman has more to offer the world. And statistically speaking, we are not where we want to be as professional women. So I love the fact that you're sharing your story so that that can help another woman execute and exercise her fullest self and express herself. And just seeing you in your fullest expression just warms my heart. Thank you for sharing your
Completely
story.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Folks, if you would like to smile like Patti and beam in the world like Patti, it's a simple mofall.com/talk clarity call where we're going to hash it out with you, figure out what's going on in your career and whether we can help you. And if we can, we're all in on you. And yes, you'll have to jump across the uncertainty void, and we've got everything for you. Patti, thanks again so much for sharing your story and being with me. And it's
Welcome.
really great to see you again.
Thank you.
Everything that women face in the corporate world, in life actually, can be counterattacked, counteropposed by a woman's powerful internal sense of being. And I call that your soul power. I want to help more women understand their soul power, and I want to create a soul-powered revolution. This is Coach Mo, mofall.com.